There's Norwood Community Television's middle school / high school film club's poorly named talk show, Halloween edition. Tonight, paranormal investigator Brandon Blair. From the Mount Healthy Haunted Hall, Reverend Emmett Rotts. And now, your host, Wilhelm Schneider.
Welcome to the first showing of the Norwood High School's film production show. I have my excellent guest star here, Brandon Blair, is here to talk to me and to our wonderful viewers, of course, about Paranormal Activity, not the movie. So you are a ghost hunter, are you not?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
Straight answer.
Thanks.
So when were you first inspired to go into it?
That happened a long time ago. Just kidding. That happened when I was about 12 years old. I was, someone's trying to get through the door again. But I was in my room. I was throwing a tennis ball up against my wall. And my parents would yell upstairs to me when they wanted my attention. Well, so I went to the top of the stairs and I was yelling, "What do you want?" My mom came. She said no one was yelling for you. So I went back to my room, again with tennis ball against the wall, heard my name being yelled again. So I went back to the stairs and I was like, "Seriously, what do you want?" Well, she said, "No one's calling for you," whatever. So then I started checking my brother and sister's room to make sure that the TV's not on or anything like that. Maybe I'm hearing like a character or something being yelled. So I'm in my room, and at this point I just lay down and, just hanging out. Well, the light in my room starts to flicker, and when it flickers and it goes off, I get up to go check the socket or whatever. You know what I mean? And when I do that, as I'm getting up, something grabs me and holds me down in my bed, and it's just screaming my name over and over and over again. And at this point, since I was so young, I was crying because I was so scared of what was going on. And obviously, when the lights came back on, I ran downstairs like a typical kid to my mom, and I was crying, freaking out, blah, blah, blah. My dad's like, "You watch too many horror movies." And I'm like, "No, this actually happened." Blah. And I showed my parents, and I had scratch marks right here on my shoulder blades. They still didn't believe me. So from that moment on, I ended up wanting to start ghost hunting and to prove that there's other things out there. So that's what inspired me to ghost hunt.
That literally scared me so much right then. I think I need to go curl up in a corner for about 5 minutes.
Quaint.
I'm not going to do that though. So that is the first thing that's happened to you paranormal related?
Yeah, that was the first time ever where something happened to me.
Let's see. When did you first get into hunting ghosts?
Well, as I said, not too long after that, I ended up buying my first voice recorder. It was an RCA. It was one of those ones that nowadays it's really jank, old school, no one uses anymore. But actually, the elementary school I went to was Allison Elementary. And growing up there, all the teachers would tell you stories of the ghosts and things that happened there. And so when I went there one night with my mom because she was the nurse, and she was just filling up bags of ice. And so I walked around the school by myself with the voice recorder, just checking out, seeing what was going on. And when I went down to the gym, I was in there, and it was dark. All the lights were out. And I asked if anything was in there with me. And honestly, ghost hunting and stuff, you ask all these questions, but you don't expect to hear anything with your own ears. Well, a little girl laughs when I ask that. And so at this point in time, I'm sprinting in a dead sprint all the way back up to the nurse's office because I was so petrified. And we actually have that on a voice recorder of the little girl laugh and stuff.
You do realize petrified means frozen in place with fear.
Yeah.
But you were running.
Yeah. It's called
Brandon Blair, everybody.
Negative. Double negative.
Double negative. And you still have that?
Yep.
Was it like a creepy high-pitched or like?
It was like hearing just a normal little girl laugh. And of course, kid ghosts are the creepiest ones.
Yeah, that is totally true. So, you had the recorder, and have you ever like caught a ghost on film?
Yeah. One time we were at the community center, which back in the day it used to be St. Elizabeth School. And we were told about how, there were some ghost stories back then about just stuff happening at the community center. And if you're in the community center and you go down the steps where the bathrooms are, and there's Jerry Osterman's door, and then there's a door probably, a few feet away from it. And we had our cameras set up there, and he would tell us about this boy, or we're assuming boy. We don't know for sure. But we were told about this boy who would play around, and, he would take like the bingo balls, and he'd take them and he'd hide them and stuff. Well, one night when we were investigating there, we had our camera on that door, and you end up seeing something walk into the doorway, and you can make out the silhouette of what looks like a little boy there. And then it just sort of backs up and disappears.
That is actually very interesting, and now I'm still wanting to go to the community center, just not as much. I mean, actually, we have some equipment here.
Mm-hmm.
If you'd like to check that out.
Yeah, sure.
What's going on here?
Well, we have this device right here. It's called a K2 meter, and it's one of the only devices that I haven't brought up yet. What it does is it measures electromagnetic field, and according to theorists, they say that spirits have high electromagnetic fields. So let's say you're out in the woods, you're not near any wires or outlets or anything, and you ask something if it's there, and this lights up. Well, since there's nothing electronic, out there, then that supposedly means that there's some sort of spirit around. Also, one of the things that have happened when we've used these, we'll have it light up to a red for no, yellow for yes, and we'll ask it just specific questions. Are you a girl? It'll light up to, red or yellow, and then that'll be our answer. And then we've actually had times where we've talked with a spirit through this. I think our longest time was about 20 minutes, just asking questions and trying to figure out. And the fun part about it is, after you get and you record all these answers, you look back at everything that you've done, and then when you're going through the research of the place that you went to, you see if any of those match up. And the coolest part is when that does happen, because then not only does it verify this device is, it works, and it also verifies, that there was something there telling you all this that actually happened. This is just, a video camera. You want to always have these around, because a lot of people, they won't believe it till they see it. So you got to make sure you're catching it, because you can't just talk about everything and expect everyone to believe you. So we like to use as many cameras as we can.
Okay. So tell me, what is one of the scariest moments you have had while hunting ghosts?
The scariest moment was definitely at Allison Elementary. And that was about maybe last year, 2 years ago. We were there. There was a handful of us. And down in the kindergarten area, which is known as the most haunted part, we were using like Ouija board and stuff, trying to see if we could kick up anything, using a thing made by the Parker brothers. But what ended up happening is I was walking through the hall, and I happened to look in one of the closets, and when I did, I saw what looked like the ghost of someone that I had known that was dead. And so that part shook me up entirely, to where I didn't know how to respond. I mean, that part really was the scariest thing to ever happen. And to go on along with that night, we're walking down the steps to the kindergarten area, and we hear this laugh, and it sounds like this, sort of scary, sinister type of laugh. And one of the investigators, Ronnie, he was with us, and he grabbed his arm. And when he grabbed his arm, you could see, and we have the picture of it, you could see 6 welts that looked like something scratched his arm right there. And these were nuts. It was the craziest thing ever, along with that sinister laugh that we heard. And the story of Allison, you know, it was told about the fire happening there. It was either 1914 or 17 in November. And some people say that no one died. Others have a different theory that there was an arsonist. Well, the craziest thing about this, what makes this also sort of weird, is after the fire at Allison, when the middle school was built, for several different years, like not exactly correct or whatever, like saying it every 7 years or anything like that, but every few or so years, what would happen in the same spot of the building, in the auditorium, if you're looking on the right side, there's that door. And there are people that have went down there that have tried to catch that same place on fire. Several different people, several different like eras and years. I mean, it's really weird. And 2 of the girls that were doing it said that they heard something tell them to. And so that sort of brings up, why would something or someone want to burn down those schools? What drew it there? What made it want to do such things?
I've been down there multiple times, and yeah, there's something creepy about that area. So tell me, have you ever gone on an expedition paranormally in the middle school?
No, but I would love to, actually. I've always wanted to. So I think that'd be a really cool...
What the?
Uh-oh.
Lights? Okay.
Want to go check it out?
Yeah, I think that's a good sign. Let's go.
Jinkies! Look at those lockers.
That's weird.
Were they not open before?
No, actually.
You sure? We're sure.
No, not at all.
Ah, all right.
Don't think they were though.
I'm sure. I pass by here every day.
I think there was a ghost toilet.
What was that?
My assistant forced me to come on this.
Yes.
Oh wow, look. It's actually lighting up right now.
Oh.
Non-intentionally.
So where are the high hills that way?
Huh. That's interesting.
It's the bathroom.
Haunted bathroom.
Haunted bathroom. Is he getting stronger?
Yeah, it's getting stronger
Check
the
him
closer
out.
we get. Yeah, now it's starting to die. Now it's getting stronger as we go into the auditorium. Is it open?
I don't think so. Oh, it is. Shall we go investigate?
Yeah.
We should. Excuse me. Let's go.
Huh. Here we are. Oh wow, look at that.
It died right away.
Uh-oh.
That could mean it gained all the power and energy that it needed. Look. That is awesome. This is honestly amazing.
No, come on, no. Will, quit being a little girl. Yeah, I'm like 6.
Is something or someone here with us?
I pointed over here.
If something's here with us, light this up again, please. No, let's keep it.
It said
Can it
yes.
light up again?
It did.
For like a second.
It went to yellow. Well,
If
he
you
said
light
these
this
things-
up, would you like us to go where the fire happened? Is that where you are?
Oh, God.
Yes. This is terrifying. Matt. I will go down there with you only if it, say
You
if
just stop right here.
I might drop the camera. Jacob, get down here. Is anybody messing with it? Go see if anyone's messing.
No one's by the piano.
Are you serious?
No one's by the piano.
Hold on.
No one's by the piano.
Nobody's at the piano.
No one's at the piano.
Let's check
Did
it
you guys
out.
hear that?
What? Is anybody over here? Yeah, there's no one here.
Nobody?
There's no person. There's no human being that was over
It's
here.
closed. It's closed.
It is literally closed.
Wow.
I am trapping myself. Just ask it a question.
Are you the one that has been walking around the school? Or are you the thing that keeps wanting there to be a fire? Did you hear that?
The door.
You need to go check it out.
Will somebody go in there with me?
Yeah, I'll go in there with you.
All right. Hold my hand. I said hold my hand. I'm kidding. Not literally, but.
Hello?
If there is a ghost here, do you mind playing the piano again? All right, I'm gonna turn the recording. Wait.
Okay, I'm out. Goodbye.
Go through.
Is anything here with us?
If there's anything with us,
Hold up, chair.
huh?
Just fell off the stack.
Nothing.
Do you have a problem with ghosts, monsters, or other terrifying tricksters? Then try the new Gal repellent. Igor! Igor! The side effects may cause headaches, hallucinations, and in rare occasions, zombification and brain loving. For only $19.99 a can, you can get one. We are having a special time offer, buy one, get one free. Call now, 513-12-GHOST.
Hello and welcome to the second part of the Norwood High School Film Club show. I have our second guest here. His name is Emmett Rotts,
Yep, that's me.
and I will be talking to him.
Talking about me, huh? You'll be talking about me? If anything, I'll be talking about you, all right? Let's get that straight.
Okay then.
Begin.
Sorry. If I laugh a lot, because this guy's funny. Tell me, Emmett,
Yes.
when did this happen?
Oh, well, when I was still immortal, I used to operate elevators at this old dilapidated building. And one time I pressed the lever and suddenly I was going down. I should have been going up.
How does an elevator make your face go like that? And
Well, when it goes down, 9 flights of stairs, the elevator hits, 2 seconds later you hit, bam, face, floor.
okay, that makes sense. Were you wearing this outfit when it happened?
You know what else makes sense? Huh? Bank tellers, they make sense. Get it? Huh?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. I'm a failed comedian.
I am too, actually. I'm horrible. So, Emmett, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself when you were immortal?
Well, I'd rather not talk about that because I was just a piece of scum. And now that I am immortal, I am the happiest guy on earth. You know what they say? They say maniacs are happy, right?
Emmett, where do you work exactly?
Well, the past 19 years I've been working at the Mount Healthy Haunted Hall. It is a charity haunt located in Mount Healthy. You can visit it. The website for more information, hauntedhallinfo.com. It's a lot of fun, even if you're a big crybaby. You'll still have fun. Trust me. We have people to go through with you if you're too scared. But if you're not scared, I'll scare the bejesus out of you. Next question.
What exactly do you do at the haunted hall? Do you just scare people?
What don't I do? Well, I run the elevator at the hall too. But this time, I like it going up and down, down and up, down and up and up and down, over, sideways, in between, and I tell people, how can I make them scream?
That just rhymed.
It did.
Oh, you get a handshake. Would you like a handshake, Emmett? Emmett, handshake or high five?
How about?
Okay. So, Emmett,
Yes.
apart from doing the haunted hall at Mount Healthy, do you do anything else with your spare time?
Yes, I, wander graveyards. I like just, causing a muck in the street. And, sometimes I have all my minions clean up the muck in the street.
Do you have a lot of minions?
What's up?
Do you have a lot of minions?
Oh yeah, plenty of minions. I have, Mad Doctor. He's mad because I haven't given him a raise in, eternity. Also, we have plenty of people. We have all sorts of ghouls, goblins. We even have the Prince of Darkness himself, Satan. And what is this thing right here? We have, let's see, we have Dracula, Count Dracula. He's pretty famous over here. We also have the classic Universal monsters. We have Mummy, we have Wolfman, but we also have some of our own creations.
Some of your own?
And you have to go through the hall to find out what they are.
Is there a theme to it?
Well, every year we change. Our haunted house, we completely tear down every single year, and we completely build up every single year. We are a very, very, very rare thing happening in the United States now. There are not many charity haunts around. So far, in Cincinnati, there's only 3 other charity haunts. We do not have a budget. We have 0 budget, so everything that we have, everything that we build in the month of September. We dig up trash, put it together, and then in October, we open. In November, we tear everything down, we make plans for next year. Whereas other haunted houses around here, they build it up and it stays the same all year round, every single year, and that gets boring. I have to say so myself,
When did you first get interested?
Oh, when I died.
Yeah, beside that.
Well, about 19 years ago, there's this kid, his name was Eric Sturworth, and he's a little scumbag, I don't know who he is, but apparently he started when he was 8 years old at this place. He was a little Boy Scout, he was annoying everyone, and they were like, fine, we'll give you a part, so he took this Frankenstein monster mask that was too big for him, and he put it on his head, and he walked around and he tried to scare people, but he didn't scare a single soul. He looked like, like a head with feet, like, one of those drawings by a 3-year-old. You know what I'm talking about? They have the hands and feet and the head, and it's a real cute crap. But anyway, ever since then, he started getting more and more and more involved, and now he pretty much runs the place. He draws up the floor plans. He is there every single day when he's not at work or not doing television interviews, and he is not worth all the time I just gave him. So,
Do you just not like him?
well, I mean, who's there to like? I mean, I don't like you. I don't like you, and I definitely don't like you. This guy's been staring at me the whole time. Can you believe it?
Security. No? Oh, we don't have security. Can we get security? No? Okay. So is there anything else that you'd like to talk about, Emmett?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Good.
Come or I'll kill you!
I think that about sums it up. thanks to our guest, Emmett. Emmett, are you okay? Emmett? We'll be back after these messages.